Which Netflix exec do we need to call to make sure there is a third movie? Because after the credits rolled on this one, I was like desperately searching if this is going to be a trilogy because I need more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Probably just in general, a double thumbs up would probably do it.
I did that with my screener. I was like, give me more. After reading V. Castro's novelization last year after part one, I'm like very desperately in need of these extended cuts of the movies. Are they still kind of eyeing that summer release date, or has anything changed yet with that?
Yeah, I think at the end of summer, I think sometime in August, they're supposed to come out. I'm just finishing them up now.
I do want to ask some spoiler questions because you made me cry, and I know other people will cry after they watch this movie and need some answers. So my first kind of big question is kind of what factored into the decision to kill off Gunnar? I was really rooting for Kora and him to have like a happily ever after, but I ended up being really satisfied with him ultimately dying.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like actually from early on, because I knew what his job was as far as Kora's character is concerned, because, he really represents in a lot of ways the first sort of love that she's had made purely from sort of choice and from her own sort of free will, being in a place of sort of independence for the first time really in her life. And so I think that was his job, was to kind of liberate her emotionally, and I think that he was able to pull that off. And I just think that, and Michiel's so kind of great at that. And again, I think we were talking about in the R-rated version, their love scene is like so, he really is teaching her intimacy and teaching her like all these things that like, I feel like she's just kind of, she knows what she's doing, I feel like, in that kind of physical relationship. But I think that he's really kind of bringing her into a place where it's a little bit more sensitive.
That was one of the scenes I was like, I sense that there's more in the extended cut with this moment.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Very excited for that. Another scene that I feel like probably has more in the extended cut is Noble's death.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm assuming this time he's definitely dead. He's not avoiding death this time.
Oh, yeah. The PG-13 of it all prevented me from showing, which you'll see, that he really is, we got him this time.
Excellent. Glad that he's done for this time. Since I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to like interview you again, I did want to ask about another movie of yours,
sure.
Which is Dawn of the Dead.
Sure.
One of my all-time favorite movies growing up. I watched that movie way too much.
Sure.
It's turning 20 this year.
I know.
Are there going to be any screenings for it? Any re-releases? Anything that you might know about?
I don't know. We talked about it. I just screened it down in Austin at the Alamo Draft House. We did a screening pretty much almost like a week before its 20th anniversary, and it was exciting to get that opportunity. But yeah, it's still one of my beloved films. Probably could use a remastering at some point. Maybe we'll talk to Universal about that.
There you go. I mean, I will be the first to buy it. I love that movie so much. And then as we wind down, what's next for you? Are you still working on expanding more of the Rebel Moon universe?
We're definitely expanding more Rebel Moon. We've got another couple comics in the works. We've got this sort of VR experience that we're pushing out. And there's 2 making of books coming and the photo book that so there's a lot of that stuff happening. As well as, but I'm not sure what I'm going to shoot. We're talking about, I've been working on this kind of a small thing, so we may do that next just to kind of as a palate cleanser from this insanity. But I'd love to do some more Rebel Moon if that's in the offing, as I say.
We definitely want that. I also want to know, what's the status on your King Arthur? I think you had like a Western King Arthur. Story.
By the way, we're working on that all the time too. That's kind of my own, it's kind of a spec thing, so I don't really need a studio for that. It's just me.
Excellent. I'm very excited for that one. My background was in history, so as soon as I saw Western and King Arthur, I was like, give it to me. I need it now.
Yeah, it's good fun.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Zach. I can't wait for everyone to see Rebel Moon Part 2.
Awesome. Thank you.